Hey guys, and welcome to episode 63 of How I Made My First $1 Million. Today we are looking at the numbers from December 1st, 2025. So let's dive in. We start as usual with the balance sheet. Assets coming in at a meager 143,000. That's down 25,000 from last month. Yikes. Liabilities at 17K, pretty much unchanged. Net worth 126. Again, down 25,000. So what happened? Well, if you've been paying any attention whatsoever, you know that Bitcoin pretty much crashed. So I don't know the exact percentage drop, 20, 25%, something like that. So that's down quite a bit. But I did use the dip to buy more. So more on that in a second. Otherwise, cash down slightly, didn't really change. Gold and silver were both up. They had a very nice month, maybe 10% or something like that. I'm just looking at the balance here. And Kiva up ever so slightly. So yeah, mostly the main reason for the change here is the price of Bitcoin crashed. That's sort of the story. Liabilities, still just those taxes outstanding. All right, let's look at the pie chart. What do we have here? Yeah, so Bitcoin's still 70% of the portfolio. Great. Gold and silver combined 24%. Okay. Kiva 6%. Cash rounds to 0. We do have another point here on the net worth. This is down so much. Oh my goodness, what a steep decline. Yeah, 25,000. So 126. So we basically undid 6 months of progress. Yeah. You know, that'll happen. That'll happen. It'll come back. It'll come back. So like I said, I did use the opportunity to buy more Bitcoin. So now I have more Bitcoin than I had a month ago. So when the price rebounds, I'll have a greater dollar amount of assets. So it's just about being patient. All right, income statement. Revenues pretty much unchanged. Yeah, nothing to look at there. Expenses. I spent an extra $400. What happened? Well, maybe home and garden kind of explains it. I think most of these categories are not meaningfully different. Yeah, this all looks similar. Okay, so instead of buying $2,000 worth of investments, I only bought 500, almost 600. And I did not get a big reimbursement from my company. So otherwise, like that pretty much explains it right there. So not a very exciting month. Nothing much is changing there. And then if we look at the cash flows, still have a positive operating cash flow. Look at that, $19. Big stuff. So what happened? Yeah, spent a little bit more on purchases, same amount of interest and taxes. Otherwise, just normal revenue, without the reimbursement. Investing wise, yep, we know what that is. So instead of buying $2,000 worth of investments, only 500. And financing. Okay, I did lend more on Kiva, and I'm not looking at these two numbers. I'm actually looking at the donation amount because the amount I donate is 20% of what I lend. But here I only show net lending. I know I've explained this a few times. So if I've donated $200 to Kiva, that means I lent 1,000. So 200, 1,000, and then 250, 1,000 plus another 25%. So 1,250. So that went up ever so slightly. I'll probably do the same thing in December just because, yeah, I don't have a really good reason. Just trying to increase the total amount that I lend. I don't know. Just trying to game those numbers on Kiva. That's it. There's no objective to it. All right, finally, let's wrap up with the updates. Here we go. Lent $1,250 on Kiva. And I plan to lend net of $1,000 per month for the entire calendar year. So in December, I may only do $750, but I may do the same amount. We'll see. Earlier in November, I did a 12-mile ruck with 30 pounds. That was fun. Did that with my fiance and a friend. So it was great. It was social. It was actually kind of easy, if I'm being honest. I could have gone much further distance or carried more weight, but it was fun. It was great. I'm now doing yoga 2 to 3 times a week, and I'm lifting weights again, which feels good because I took 4 or 5 months off because of a broken thumb and a bunch of hiking. So it's good to get back into both of those things. Also went to Paris and Normandy for 9 days with my future in-laws. That was really fun. Paris was fun. Normandy was sobering, you might say. Interesting, engaging, memorable. Yeah, deep, profound in some ways. So really happy I did that. tomorrow I'm hosting a live Q&A for the gold silver audience. So any questions about hidden secrets of value, gold, silver, investing in general, the nature of value, what is a store of value, probably we'll get some questions on Bitcoin. So I'm very excited to do that. We should have a really good turnout. Yeah, I haven't done something live like that in a long time. I'm used to making videos that are, one-way communication, and they're delayed. They're asynchronous. So that'll be a nice change. Looking forward to that. I'm also hosting a men's group in 2026. So if you are interested in forming a small cohort of 4 or 5 guys who meet once a month, DM me on Twitter. So whatever your needs are, we can work around that. So we'll customize it per person. So no specific requirement needed. It's not necessarily unique to investing. So just send me a DM and we'll see if it's a good fit. I'm also writing for 3 hours every morning from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. So this is great. I've been doing that a week, and now this is the second week. So that's really nice. Good to get the mind going. Good to get the thoughts on paper. Helps clarify the thinking. It's nice. And my 6-part YouTube series, Hidden Secrets of Value. In the past month, we released episodes 3, 4, and 5. So we didn't quite get episode 6 out yet, but it probably will come out this week. So that's super exciting. Just so exciting. And generally speaking, the feedback has been really positive. But there's a lot of people who resist the idea that Bitcoin has value, or could be a store of value, or could even be money. So a lot of resistance, but that's okay. It was expected. Feels really good to get that series out there. Finally, how am I thinking? How am I feeling? What am I doing? Well, I sort of answered a lot of those questions already, but it still feels amazing to have that series released into the world. It's so good. Man, it was trying to come out of me for a very long time. So it's amazing to actually create it and release it in the world. And it still feels like time to write a book. Some of those same ideas repackaged into a different medium. That feels really important to me. I got to get that out. I got to get that out of me. Finally, life is a game, and you're supposed to enjoy it. So I've been thinking about this lately. Life is a game. It's an infinite game. The goal is to just keep playing. And any game, you're supposed to have fun. So you can play seriously. You can be serious, but you are supposed to have fun. The process should be fun. And it's not just about winning the final day. It's about having fun along the way. So anyways, that is what I've been thinking about. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next month.